Hello, Thrivers. Today we're going to explore an important topic: rebuilding trust and creating genuine connections after narcissistic abuse. Personally, this is a topic very close to my heart at the moment, and it's also one that's been coming up for a lot in members in this community. That real desire for communion and connection with others. Recovering from narcissistic abuse can leave you feeling isolated, mistrustful, and hesitant to open up to others again. The deep emotional wounds inflicted by a narcissist can shatter your sense of safety, making it really difficult to trust others and even, of course, yourself. And the last few years and the division that's happened here on planet Earth have caused many people to go into isolation and prefer their own company. For those of us who are naturally star seeds, highly sensitive people, empaths, we often have felt misunderstood, like the black sheep or the odd one out, as if we don't belong. But here's what I want you to know: healing is not only possible, it's your birthright. And the great news is that there are many people like you who deeply desire connection with a soul tribe, people who come from heart space and who are genuine and loving. Trust can be rebuilt and genuine connections can be created once more, but it starts and it has to from within. Before I dive in how to create that, I want to thank you for being a part of our wonderful Thriver community and for wanting to say no to mere survival and instead empower yourself to thrive after narcissistic abuse. If this is you, please write "Thrive On" in the comments. And if you wish to join our community of 200,000 members strong, write capital NLN. Again, N for Nancy, L for Larry, N for Nancy, no spaces, NLN, in the comments to receive free supportive content, stories of healing, and powerful Thriver tools. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please refer to the link in the description. And while you're here, if you're finding these Thriver quantum insights helpful and you want to be a part of this amazing journey of healing and empowerment after narcissistic abuse, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us spread this message of hope and transformation to more Thrivers all around the world. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Together, we're building a beautiful, supportive community where we heal, grow, and rise because thriving is our birthright. Narcissists are not going to take that away from us. And share this with anyone you know who needs this message. And let's keep spreading the healing and the light. Now, let's explore how to reclaim your trust, heal from betrayal, come out of isolation, and open up to new, healthier connections after narcissistic abuse. One of the first and most essential steps towards trusting others again after abuse is reclaiming your inner trust. Narcissists are masters of manipulation. They leave you second guessing your judgment and your instincts. But here's the truth: your intuition was never wrong. It was drowned out by the noise of gaslighting and emotional manipulation. From a very young age, we're often taught to take on other people's version of events rather than listening to our inner voice, our source within, which is our higher self. And we know from experience as we get older that when we don't listen to that voice, we end up paying a hefty price. There's a healing process that takes place between us and ourselves. And it's really important because if we feel broken, shattered, and unsafe, and then we try to go out into the world as the incredible quantum creators that we are, often unconsciously, we're likely to keep receiving more of the same. It's like looking for a rock but finding hammers instead and getting hammered, because quantum law is very exact. It's so within, so without. And this means that no external experience will change until we shift our inner experience. And that's where the inner healing work comes in. When you come home to you and you reconnect to yourself and your inner voice, which is the still, quiet guidance that knows what's right for you, everything will start to change. And you may wonder, how can you reach that place? How can you release the inner torment, trauma, betrayals enough to feel still and at peace to trust your inner voice again? And that's where the trauma cleansing work becomes essential. It helps release the trauma held in your body, making space for your higher self, which is the calm, centered, self partnered, healed version of you. And we all have one, and it is available to all of us. And I'm going to go into more detail on how you can do that later in this talk. Here's the thing. Until you've reclaimed your inner trust, it's challenging to navigate relationships confidently. We might hand our power over to somebody else, helping that they're going to guide us to safety. But that means letting others into your life before you've developed the ability to discern for yourself who is safe and who's not safe. Because of quantum law, so within, so without, connections made while we're still traumatized will tend to bring us more of the same. And they nearly always do. And this leaves us with two options: stay isolated and self protective, or take the risk of getting into relationships that betray and break us further. But there's a third option, thank goodness, which is to release our trauma and repair the inner relationship with ourselves. By reclaiming your inner trust, you can confidently navigate relationships and discern who is safe to let into your life. Trust in yourself is the foundation for trusting others. Healing is about learning to trust yourself again, knowing that you are capable and wise enough to make decisions that honor your well-being. The connection you cultivate with yourself is the foundation for all relationships you'll build moving forward. When you nurture self-love and self-respect, you naturally attract people who will honor and cherish you in return. People don't treat us based on how we treat them. That's a false premise. People treat us in relation to how we treat ourselves, which comes down to our self-worth, how we value ourselves, and how we train others to treat us. This includes having limits, boundaries, being able to ask for what we need, and being able to speak up and then let go of people who don't have the capacity or the desire to treat us with honor, respect, and love. If we're still feeling empty, broken, and traumatized, and we unconsciously look for a savior to take away the pain, we've not yet realized and we've not yet healed the sense of self and boundaries that we need to express our needs and say no when necessary. We also can build inner strength to self-respect and maintain that solid sense of wholeness. If people aren't a match, or if they don't want to rise into that healthy self, we can make the decision to walk away. It's so natural, of course, to feel frustrated when others don't act consciously. But here's the thing: our boundaries and well-being are our responsibility, not theirs. And this brings us back to the development from the inside out that can change our lives beyond description. When we develop into a solid adult emotionally in our own body and have the capacity to keep ourselves safe, we don't have to expect others to be perfect or even decent all the time. We can take a chance on connection and be open to communion with others, knowing that we've got the resources and the inner healing to speak up, lay boundaries, and look after ourselves, which means that we're not going to get hurt again. As children, we were powerless to enforce our rights, limits, and boundaries. But as adults, this is something we can heal up and cultivate. You might look at others and you think they've got healthy relationships without going through all this inner work. I used to say that too, and I can understand why you do. But that wasn't their journey. It wasn't their soul path. And it's not the soul path they chose before they came here on the earth plane this time. And the beautiful thing is, rather than us feeling cursed or like we've missed out on life, we can take this path. We can grow into beautiful, meaningful communion with people who are soulful, who understand, and who want to evolve meaningful relationships, just like most people who've been narcissistically abused want. Now, here's something really important, more about boundaries. We can all grow in this way. We can grow up on the inside and face confrontation, speak up, and navigate the fears that come with setting limits and saying no. You might worry that if you set boundaries, people are going to criticize, reject, or abandon you. But if they do, that's just the trash taking itself out. Because, of course, you want to journey through life with people who are healthy for you. And that's only those who share your values, your truth. And these are your people. People who want to exploit or take stuff from you or your life force. They don't want you to have boundaries. They rely on you not speaking up for the fear of criticism, rejection, or punishment or abandonment. It's so important to respect ourselves. When you ask for what you want, whether it's sending back a cold meal in a restaurant or addressing bigger issues in relationships, you're setting a standard for how you're treated by all of life. When we don't respect ourselves, it's difficult for the world to reflect that respect back to us. Remember quantum law, so within, so without. We can ask for what we truly need by speaking up for it. As adults, boundaries are something that we can cultivate, we can grow into, and it's so empowering. Even in narcissistic relationships, the ultimate boundary works. And it is this. This is my truth. And if you're not aligned with it, we're no longer a match. What can anybody do with that? Nothing. Boundaries are essential for creating safe relationships. They're not about building walls that keep everybody out. They're about creating space for real connection. A well-placed no creates opening to wonderful yeses. When we communicate our boundaries clearly, we engage from a place of self-respect and we invite others to treat us with respect in return. One of the most beautiful gifts that comes from healing after narcissistic abuse is the opportunity to attract authentic connections. As you grow, as you heal on the inside, you become clearer about your needs, values, and self-worth. By doing so, you naturally attract people who reflect that authenticity. And these connections will feel really different because they're based on mutual respect, kindness, and emotional safety rather than the toxic push-pull dynamics and confusion and gaslighting of narcissistic relationships. By aligning with your true self, you create space for deeper, more fulfilling relationships grounded in love and respect. Wouldn't that be worth it? Wouldn't that be a beautiful reward for all the work and self-devotion that you invested in yourself? Absolutely it would. And believe me, it is. Here's the real truth about trusting others again. It's not about taking a blind risk. It's about trusting yourself. It's about growing. It's about healing yourself. Authenticity is the most powerful force in the universe. That's honesty. That's showing up as your true self, even when it's difficult to do. Even while we're healing, we can be authentic by sharing our journey with safe others. And you might say, I've had codependent tendencies, but I'm working on myself. This is the journey I'm on. This high vibrational authenticity, truth, is also about the honesty about our responsibility and growth. When you show up authentically, you'll see who aligns with you and who doesn't. Those who are still victims of their own unconscious beliefs just might not be your people anymore because they don't take personal responsibility. But the authentic people will get inspired by you. You'll be leading them and they will align with you and you'll find deep communion with them. Quantum freedom healing is the powerful healing modality myself and many used that addressed the deep energetic wounds caused by narcissistic abuse, restoring trust in ourselves and others. Narcissistic abuse leaves trauma in our beings. Of course it does. And it creates those cycles of fear, mistrust, and emotional instability. Quantum freedom healing works at the root of these issues, clearing the stored trauma from our bodies, helping us feel safer and more grounded. Through quantum freedom healing, you heal the self-doubt created by narcissistic manipulation, rebuilding trust in your decisions and releasing those fears of betrayal. This allows us to open ourselves up to new connections without the anxiety of the fear of repeating past traumas. Quantum freedom healing also aids in healing our boundary issues by empowering us to set and maintain healthy boundaries while restoring our emotional balance. And that helps you feel calm and centered. As you release trauma, you begin attracting healthier, more supportive relationships, which then builds on itself, making trust easier and much more organic and natural. And finally, quantum freedom healing empowers you by clearing those victimhood patterns, allowing you to navigate relationships with strength and confidence, which in turn fosters more trust. The Narcissistic Abuse Recovery Program, also known as NARP, is the quantum freedom healing program that I highly recommend for this journey. You can see the details to become a NARP member in the description and also on the screen now. And that's it for today, Thrivers. I hope this talk has given you valuable insights and practical steps to begin rebuilding trust after narcissistic abuse. And I really trust that it's given you hope that you can. I'd love you to leave your thoughts or comments in the questions in the comments below because I love hearing from you. And if you found this talk helpful, please like, follow, share, and subscribe. And again, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. So until the next one, keep healing, keep smiling, and keep thriving because there's nothing else to do. Lots of love. Bye-bye.